Darker than night are some of the mysterious escapades of humans throughout history. Some so horrific that you will gnash your teeth in embarrassment, and the others so bizarre you'll cringe on your seat. Number 1. 400 people danced to death in Germany. The current holder of the world's longest dance marathon is Srushti Sudhir Jagtap, who danced for 127 hours. This is nothing compared to what Frau Trophea and 400 others did in Strasbourg, France. They danced for 3 whole months. In July 1518, Frau Trophea danced in the streets. Before long, 36 Strasbourgeois contracted dancing fever. This number increased to 400. They couldn't help themselves. All they wanted to do was dance all day and night. Seeing that the town was in chaos, the confused local physician said it was a result of hot blood, and what they needed to do was to get music and a stage for the dancers to dance even more. But this didn't work. Number 2. Outer world nuclear-like explosion. More than a century ago, the biggest asteroid incident ever recorded in human history struck our motherland, Earth, and with it came a 12-megaton explosion. Now, to put it into perspective, the Hiroshima bomb that killed more than 100,000 people was 15 kiloton. So if the 1908 asteroid struck a big city, the impact would have been 800 times greater. Thankfully, it did not. Instead, it exploded in the sparsely populated area of Tunguska, East Siberian, and burned down 80 million trees across 2,150 square kilometers. Not only that, 3 people died from the incident, and many reindeer lost their lives also. Nearly 20 years after the massive explosion, there was not a single expedition to the area to find out what really happened. This was due to the several distractions happening around the world, from the Russian Revolution to the U.S. Civil War to World War I. Everyone was busy. When the expedition to Tunguska finally began, evidence of asteroids was not available as it was a meteor airburst. Number 3. The Tanganyika laughter epidemic. Near the border of Uganda, a place formerly known as Tanganyika was plagued by a laughter epidemic. More than 1,000 people laughed over an average of 7 days in Kashasha village. What was so weird about the laughter spray was that it only affected young adults. Fathers, mothers, and grannies had to watch their young ones, unable to control their laughter. Every epidemic has an origin, and this one started on January 30th, 1962, in a girls-only boarding school in Kashasha. It started with 3 girls laughing, and before you knew it, more than half of the students began laughing uncontrollably. Things got out of hand quickly, and the school was shut down and reopened. But nothing could stop the laughing streak, causing the authorities to reclose it again. Yet it didn't stop. As the girls went to their villages, they carried with them the laughing epidemic and spread it across the young villages, even to other schools, leading to the closure of 14 schools. Several reasons have been pointed to this outburst of mass psychological behavior. A theory was stated by Christian F. Hempelman that it was due to stress caused by pressure put on the student. Next time you notice you're laughing very frequently and uncontrollably, it may be a sign that you're stressed. Number 4. Unit 731, The Den of Japanese Horror Film. One of the darkest chapters in human history involves Unit 731, a secret chemical and biological development unit of the Imperial Japanese Army during World War II. In a place known as the Pacific Theater in Manchukuo, Chinese and Russian citizens were used as lab rats for conducting and testing several dehumanizing projects. From biological weapons to organ harvesting to pressure chamber testing, these Japanese researchers did the unthinkable for men, women, and children, even pregnant women. Up to 500,000 people were sacrificed to the barbaric experiment of the Japanese, and everyone captured was killed to cover up evidence. Even when the United States intervened, the scientists in the U.S. camp were all given immunity in exchange for their research information, just like they did to the Nazi researchers. Number 5. The Children's Crusade. During the medieval period, there were 2 separate events, one in Germany and the other in France, that involved large groups of children marching to the Holy Land to convert Muslims to Christianity. Both were led by a child. The first crusade started in Cologne, Germany by Nicholas, gathering followers for them to meet at Genoa, where he would divide the sea. 7,000 of his disciples met him there, and when they saw he couldn't, the once united fold began to break. The same thing also happened to Stephen, the 12-year-old shepherd from Cloyes, France. Drawn by his reported miracles and teachings, over 30,000 children and also adults followed him around France until they couldn't anymore. Both boys' missions to Jerusalem caused the deaths, kidnappings, and slavery of children who were their followers. It got so bad to the extent that Nicholas's father was hanged by angry families for their missing children. Number 6. The Jonestown Massacre. More than 900 people lost their lives in a single day, unfortunately, because of a psychotic fanatic who started out as a man of the people, donating money, caring for the needy, and speaking openly about racial and social justice. Jim Jones, popularly regarded as father among his 20,000 followers, called on his followers to move with him to paradise, away from the prying eye of the public. You could imagine that since he has been doing a lot for people, they wanted more of the freebies. But they were in for a rude awakening, and so more than 1,000 moved with Father Jim Jones to Guyana. After a series of complaints from his constituents about how their family members were being held up against their will, Congressman Leo Ryan decided to pay Jonestown in Guyana a visit. The next day, before Leo Ryan left the town, Jim Jones sent gunmen to kill Ryan, which they did. That same day, Jones gathered his followers and brainwashed them into believing that the authorities were coming at them hard and fast because of the visit of Leo Ryan, and that the only way out was what he termed revolutionary suicide. 909 people, both men, women, and children, died from the cyanide poisoning he gave them. And Jim Jones took his life in an easier way, as he pointed his gun at his head. In a single non-natural event, this was the highest loss of American lives before 9/11 happened. Number 7. The Voynich Manuscript. Rocket science, geometry, and astrology. You name it. It doesn't stand when trying to understand the Voynich Manuscript. Named after Wilfred M. Voynich, who purchased it in 1912. Dated to be from the 15th century, it has been passed through many hands, from Rudolph II to the Society of Jesus located in Rome. Yet, the origin, author, and purpose of the manuscript are still unknown. This mysterious, undeciphered manuscript is made up of 240 non-missing pages containing a variety of diagrams, illustrations, plants, people, and astrological symbols, all of which haven't been deciphered. Since 2020, the 240 pages of the Voynich Manuscript have been made available in the Yale University Digital Library. So, if you are feeling so fly, you could try your luck. Maybe you would be the first in history to make meaning of the manuscript. Number 8. The Bloody Countess, Elizabeth Bathory, a Hungarian noblewoman, has been dragged through history as the most bloodthirsty female serial killer, bathing in the blood of more than 600 young women. Well, that's a stretch, because the male serial killer with the most kills isn't 50% up to what Bathory is infamously alleged to have done. But it all started in 1604, when Bloody Bathory came to Cactus after the death of her husband. Her abuse and killing of her staff made local families hide their daughters. Bathory later upgraded to killing female nobles, and this triggered the King of Hungary, Matthias II, to launch an investigation. With various testimonies of how vile Bathory was, she was locked in a spacious jail until her death. Conclusion. This is the Medallion TV, and I would love to take you through time to one of the scenes I told you now. Where would you go?